Said you let me share with your story in my city. I'm sorry, I'm a realist, it's been way too gritty. Wait, no wonder it's insanity. Man will bring them back for a salary, cause casual issue mad at me. I don't think that your point's justified. Man are picking money like it's straight over mankind with our minds. Now we're ready to explode, come back and reload. We run the roads, tell them so you know. Ain't gonna be your clone, and I don't believe you will because you put it on for show.
Doesn't wanna mess with me, I don't know why, maybe cause I'm the real G. Yeah, I maybe ain't got no beat, but if I step up to you, might feel the heat. You don't know me, but I know you. So if you come to me, I'll slap you 1, 2, 3, 2. Yo.
You know the Mandela Centre in Normanton, and Baby J, Ragga T, Frank DePaul, and lots of other guys. Yogi, who is a UK hip hop artist. They used to all come down there when they were all your guys' age. Some of them used to do breakdancing in the back room. There'd always be music playing, and it was just a happening place. Well, Baby J was one of them guys that used to come in there. And Baby J has always been interested in his music. And when he got older, he like quite a few of them, they'd go out and DJ and at like blues dances, local parties, local clubs, you know. But at the time, like, there were young guys, and it was very difficult for them to get places to play, you know.
That's my first recognition of graffiti in the UK was that book, you know. And I think most graffiti artists at my time started off with that book. That book was, like I say, the Bible, where people started in the UK. Never had no internet, so the stuff that you saw was just the stuff that popped up around. There was very little at the time, but obviously that developed as time went on. And graffiti artists started to create their own way of promoting themselves through graffiti.
What was explained to me to be the 4 elements of hip-hop was the foundation of the culture, which was love, peace, unity and having fun.
People want more here, we're all on the floor here, it's raw here, can't even sleep and ignore here, cause life's kinda militant, stuck in the grime, nothing's equivalent to this cancer, the state of mind.
Hip-hop music saved my life and gave me a cause for wanting to be somebody and stand for a reason, you know, rhyme and reason. Yeah, there's a reason I'm here, there's a reason I do hip-hop, there's a reason I rap, and there's a reason I love hip-hop, because it saved my life.
Some of the young people that I've worked with, they've come out of the gang life, they've got themselves jobs, they've got themselves a good education, and they've turned their lives around. And I think each one teach one. If you can teach one and they teach one and they teach one, then it's an ever-going ripple of positivity.
There's no wait till I blow up. Wait, they wanna take me down, like anybody think something else, they're nothing. Guarantee right now, man, I'm still fronting. I'm bringing the same floor on the top.
Baby, this is true, I don't care what we go through. I will fight for you till you're gonna be mine. Baby, trust me, we're gonna be fine. Yeah, I just have to cross the line. Yeah, I just have to cross the line.
You can be whatever you want to be. You just got to get the idea, believe it, and implement the steps to make sure that you reach the goal.
I was coming down with a team of people from London on a minibus. and they don't know what they're in for. I know what they're in for, you know, because I've been down here raving even on a cheesy R&B night. So I know what's popping on Derby. So yeah, but Derby needs to stand up. You know, MCs from Derby need to let the world know what Derby is. What's going on in Derby? Represent Derby. If you're from Derby, stand up. Let Derby be known. There's people who don't know Derby. How are they gonna get to know unless you tell them?
If you weren't trying to be in the mainstream and you weren't trying to, you know, go to church and get a good job and do what your parents said, hip hop was the music that was kind of, you know, asking the questions and fighting back, and that's sort of how I felt as a youth. And I think so hip hop, you know, I was attracted to it straight away. The story of hip hop, you know, particularly in relation to technology, has always been one of, you know, these kids taking technology or engineering or however you want to look at it and using it in a way that it was never designed for them to get the results they want to do. So if you look right at the beginning, you know, turntables that weren't belt drive, as in Technics and magnetic things, were never designed for mixing and scratching. They were just more robust turntables for disco nightclubs. And what hip hop DJs is found out that actually you could spin the record back and cue up the break part of a record that was the bit that everyone liked to dance for. So you'd have a piece of music that might be 4 minutes long, but there's one section where it dropped down to the drum break, and that was the bit that everyone would come out and do their dance moves to. So the DJs worked out, Paul Herb and the like, that they could use these new turntables to pull the record back if they had two of the same record, and keep this and play the break, and then rewind this one and play the break, and use these turntables to make that break session go on for much longer, so people will come out and dance for a longer period of time. And then the MC, which stands for Master of Ceremonies, was the person that would just hold the mic at a party and say, come on people, get on the dance floor, in a slightly more interesting way than that. And then that MC started doing little bits of rhymes and talking over this break session that the DJ was making longer. But again, they were using turntables in a way that they weren't designed for. They were using lampposts in the park to break open and hook up to the power so they could run sound systems to have block parties, because they didn't have their own nightclubs, they didn't have their own spaces to have them, so they'd hack into the power source of the city to run block parties. They'd use subways trains to put beautiful pieces of artwork up because they didn't have galleries and they didn't have magazines to put their stuff out in, so they'd use the subway trains as galleries as a way of letting their artwork travel all around, you know, the 5 boroughs for people to see. So hip hop's always had, you know, this legacy of using technology in ways that it's not meant to be used. And I actually think we made the best art because, you know, those opportunities weren't there. And that's why hip hop is, you know, today in 2017 is the most powerful cultural force in the world, period. The UK hip hop scene and the culture at the time has always had a couple of fundamental influences. You know, Jazzy B from Soul Soul talks about this really well all the time, but you basically had hip hop culture from America. That's where hip hop was born, East Coast of America, and that was our, you know, all these artists, Eric B and Rakim, Ultramagnetic MCs, you know, Public Enemy, was watching these artists, we were mirroring and mimicking what they were doing, right? But at the same time, you had Jamaican culture. So you had, you know, most of my friends that were into hip hop, their, you know, family were first generation over or second generation from Jamaica, and they're kind of what was looked at as kind of the rebel side of that, so the dreads, and you know, because yeah, you know, there was kind of this thing of kind of, you know, if you were a good boy, you went to church and you had neat, nice hair, and the dreads were the rebels, you know what I mean? The Rastas were the rebels. There was kind of this sense of that. But that, you know, the Jamaican culture had its own dress sense, had its own style. And so I think the British style was kind of a bit of a fuse of the two. And even if you look at the British music, like London Posse and Demon Boys and a lot of the early artists, it was infused too. So a lot in the Derby scene, a lot of the first MCs that kind of came out, they were kind of rapping and taking a lot of reference from the American records, but they put patois in there, they put their own slang in there, they put words that we were using.
When I arrived in Derby, it was probably around 94, 95, and we took over this building behind us, called it the Gatehouse, and for me it was probably my first touch of Derby and Derby hip-hop culture. Coming from London, I didn't think there was any here, so I kind of took it on a mission to bring it, but it was already here, fortunately. We had met a lot of good people, and that was part of the reason of coming to Derby, to get me away from what was going on in my current situation then. I had the opportunity to come and run a nightclub. I would never have got that in London. And through that I've met loads of good people, and it's kept me on a path where I'm still working around good people. Hip hop and the elements of hip hop for the youth of today, it's a totally different thing. So don't come from where I come from.
But like I'm saying, all these other rappers, they're not new to Derby. They know it. They know that we got music and they know what we're on. Especially right now, especially like winning the Grime side and stuff like that. Like some people didn't hear of the area, so when you're shouting out the area, it's like, oh, what? Derby? Let me click it. You know, like even in like some of the titles, I used to make sure they put Derby in it so that people think, what? Because it was starting to become a thing of like not being from London became cool and grime. And what's sick right now is most Derby MCs I know have got collabs with people from outside of Derby, like near enough everybody. And if they haven't, they've got links or producers are selling them beats from there, innit? So yeah man, I think if people start doing that, the city's just gonna expand and expand.